So guys, I know so many of you had actually requested for me to play my saxophone. Not really. No. But I am going to talk about a saxophone player today. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Young Entertainment Specialist. I'm your host Garrett, and we are going to talk about another album review today. I know you're probably thinking, is this a Christmas review? Because it's in December, but no, it is not. This just happens to be an album review that came out in December, and I'm really excited to talk about it because the album is actually made from one of my dear friends from college. I'm really stoked to be talking and reviewing about this album because I think it's done very well, and we need to get into it. Suzy Eises. She's an amazing saxophone player, amazing person in general. She's from Namibia in Africa, and it was an awesome pleasure to know who she is, to be able to take some music courses with her, and I'm really excited for her journey. She's been pursuing her dream very heavily, and I am so proud of her. She's finally released an album, and I listened to it immediately as soon as I found the link to it. It's a self-titled album called Suzy Eises, so obviously that's what a self-titled album is. It's not particularly a long album, it's only got 8 tracks on it, but you know, maybe that's okay. Suzy definitely has a lot of jazz emphasis in this album, and she has some of her African roots mingled in with everything, and she's taking a couple different risks with a couple of other ideas and sounds, and I'm really proud to say that I enjoyed this album. 2 songs that I really liked a lot were Free and Low Key. Now Free, I wrote down that it has kind of a traditional kind of sound, but it's got a really cool electric bass or synthesizer kind of sound. I couldn't make out which instrument it really was, and it was just really interesting, and I literally felt free listening to that song, so I thought it was very well appropriately titled. Low Key is a lot more mellow, and it's definitely got some of that heritage of hers that I mentioned earlier. Some African chanting going on in the background. I don't really know how that type of arrangement is made. I'd love to listen to more music like that, and so I'm really grateful to be able to have this album to look at. One other song I really enjoyed was a song called Africa Stand Up. It's one of those songs that kind of has one of those intros, and then gradually you're like mesmerized by how it started and how it developed around the end, and the middle, just kind of around that whole thing. So guys, if you want to hear Suzy Eises on her new album, this is what it looks like. This is the cover. And I am now going to give my ratings for the album. For production, 91%. For creativity, 88%. And expression and lyrics, 91%. And the overall vibe of the atmosphere gets a good. This is very good on her end for her first debut album. If you have been following Suzy, she has collaborated with other people in the past. But this is her first album, so this is what I have come to rate it on. And if you want to ask me more about how I rate albums, please leave in the comments below. I really like listening to this album. And Suzy, I know you're only going to progress even more and more, and I really look forward to seeing that in the future. Now, if you're like me, living here in the United States, you do have a chance to be able to listen to Suzy Eises. Okay, let me put out this note. At the International Music Festival that's in San Antonio, February 3rd, she will be performing. And she told me it is at 7:30 p.m. Suzy, I wish you the best of luck at that performance. I hope that I can be able to come there because I would love to be able to talk music with you again. Whether you like jazz or whether you don't like jazz, I think you'll get some enjoyment out of this album, so I highly recommend it. Suzy Eises, straight from Namibia in Africa. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, click right here to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment that'll make you say yes. Produced and were featured on her album. Did a really well job. We'll save this on the side for some other time.